What I want to talk today is about new year, new lab. So we're kicking off, we're diving into 2026. It's time for reflection, it's time for improvement, it's time for a lot of things. And I think a lot of things, like always, thinking about resolutions. Well, I want to talk about your new lab resolutions. What are you going to do in 2026? What are you going to do to develop your lab skills? What are you doing? What is your plan? You should have goals. You should have them. If you haven't thought about your goals, haven't thought about what you're going to do in 2026, have you been sitting there eating some Christmas dinner, eating some Christmas turkey, thinking about how you're going to fit into your pants? Well, now it's time to start reflecting and start digging in and start thinking about 2026. The new year is here and we are ready to dive in. So, as always, this time of the year is about reflecting on goals, reflecting on the year past, and what you're going to do in this year. I think it's very important to always be striving for improvement. My goal, and I think this should be, I would like to reflect this goal onto you guys, is for 2026 to be focused on continuous improvement. Now, continuous improvement can look differently for different people. So we have continuing improvement in the lab setting. Overall, maybe your whole lab you're trying to improve. Maybe you're trying to get ready for accreditation. Maybe you want to just improve yourself. Whether you're in a leadership position or just on the bench, you can improve your lab skills. There's always room for improvement. There's always room for your managerial skills to improve and for you to impress your manager to improve. Now, let's be clear. You're going to want to improve. You're going to want things to improve. Why? It's good for you. It's good for your personal development to be improving. Go out there, cross-train, learn a new assay. If you're specifically in toxicology, but you have a microbiology section of your laboratory, see if you can go find out if you can go train and get cross-trained in microbiology. There are tremendous benefits to being cross-trained. If you're worried, oh, I'm going to do this, and the laboratory is going to expect more of me, and they're not going to pay me more. They'd never give me a raise. They haven't given me a raise in the last 2 years. But you know what? If you're looking for a job and you're applying out there and you want to be if you're on the bench and you're only doing toxicology and you expand yourself to microbiology, guess what? You're going to look more appealing to be a general manager, maybe even a technical supervisor, because you have broader skills. You've shown the initiative that you can train on multiple things, that you can learn more. The laboratory that you're currently in may not be the one to reward you. They may not be the one to give you more money for your skills, but your next lab will. You may not necessarily be in that lab forever. The only reason you might honestly be thinking of staying in the laboratory forever would be is if you own the laboratory, your family owns the laboratory, or I don't know, what else? Why would you be willing to be there forever if they're not going to pay you for improving? If you're in a place that's not going to benefit you, that's not going to pay you for improving, why would you want to be there? Why would you want to stay stuck there and not improve and not get paid? Like they're not going to pay you for improving. They're not going to pay you more for not improving. So why? I don't understand this mentality of I'm just going to do my job, I'm not going to do anything better, and then I'm mad that I'm not getting a raise. What do you expect? Well, you don't get a raise for just showing up for a year. You don't get a raise for showing up for 2 years, 5 years. That was your choice of being there and not improving yourself. And if you did improve yourself and they don't pay you for it, go find another job. That's it. Move labs. Guess what? You put in 5 years of time, you can definitely get a certification. You can definitely be a technical supervisor somewhere. Someone's going to take the opportunity to hire you. If you put in the work and you put in the effort to learn more, and to expand your skills and to improve on yourself, someone else is going to take advantage of that. Someone else is going to pay you the money. If your current lab won't do it, somebody else will. So, improve yourself. Go out there, learn a new skill. Set a goal right now to learn how to do a new assay, to learn a new extraction, to learn a new technique. Hell, go find some education course, something online, and go learn it. Even if you just click on a YouTube video and sit there and watch it and learn, expand yourself. Continuous improvement is the goal for 2026. Expand yourself. Find out ways that you can expand yourself, and then you can try to expand the laboratory. I personally, as you may know me, I'm a mad scientist, so I like to expand my laboratory. I'm currently working on validations right now, expanding opioid testing. I'm working on expanding base quants, moving methods from GC to LC. Why? Because it's what I do. It's what I like. I like to learn these things. I like to apply what I know to these things. Sure, not everybody is like that. Not everybody wants continuous improvement. Maybe you're not going to be the one developing methods. Maybe that's outside your scope. But guess what? You can expand on yourself. You can improve yourself, your capabilities. You can learn more. I'm all about continuous learning. And you don't have to go and spend money out of your own pocket. Laboratories often like to pay for continuing education. They like to pay for certifications because that's an expense that they can write off on. Because honestly, if you're in a private laboratory, or even honestly, even a government laboratory, they may not be able to pay you more money. They may not be able to. A private laboratory, they could, but they probably just won't. But guess what? If they can pay for you to do something certification-wise, that doesn't cost them extra. That's actually a tax write-off. So they're okay with doing that because it doesn't cost them more money. It actually is a benefit. It's a perk that they can be like, oh, well, you can get it without them giving you a salary raise, because a salary raise costs them more taxes, costs them more in FICA, it costs them basically 30%. It costs them a huge chunk to pay you more. So they're resistant to it. They're not going to do it. That's overhead. That's salary. That's inflation. They pay you once. They know you're going to ask again. You ask it a year raise, they know you're going to ask again. And maybe that's only 2% raise, 4% raise, 6% raise, or even if they don't give you a raise, maybe they won't give you a raise, but you have your certification. They'll pay for that. And then next year, you're like, hey, I'm certified, and you should give me a raise because I have these qualifications and I can be this and this and this. And you take on more roles and more responsibilities, and they give you a raise. Or they say, no, we don't want you to do that. We don't want to pay you more. And you say, okay, now I'm going to go find a lab that fits me, that goes and that will pay me more.